What's up, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of J Rugby Sports Podcast. In this podcast, we're going to be regrading the 2020 Colts draft class. With their first pick in round 2, in the second round, 34th pick, picked wide receiver Michael Pittman Jr. out of USC. I'm going to give Michael Pittman a B or B plus because he showed a lot of promise in his rookie year. Slow start, then he started to come on a little bit for the Jets game, during the Jets game, had that injury. And then he came back from the injury, and he really showed out versus the Titans. No, he didn't come back versus the Titans, but that's the game he really started to pick it up a bit. Really started to really show his development much more. Pittman has been really solid his rookie year. Can't complain from him. Very promising, very solid B plus. With the Colts' second pick, staying in the second round, the 41st pick Jonathan Taylor, running back out of Wisconsin, and I'm going to give this an A. I'm going to give this one an A. Slow start. He didn't have the best of starts, but he nonetheless cracked 1,000 yards as a rookie when it didn't really seem like he should have cracked 1,000. I know it seems crazy, but in the end of the season, like the whole first half, it didn't seem like he was really having a huge impact on the offense. Like, he was having an impact, that's without a doubt, but it wasn't like major impact. But later in the season, like after a few games after that Ravens game, he really picked it up, and he finished with like the third most rushing yards in the whole league. And even with Marlon Mack going down, that bumps the grade up even more because that replaced him. I mean, yeah, it did replace him. Next man up, and he showed he has so much promise. Jonathan Taylor gets an A. So, round 3, this is the Colts' third pick number 85, pick Julian Blackman out of Utah, safety. I'm giving this one an A. I'm gonna give this one an A as well because when Malik went down, the defense changed, and it was midway through that Vikings game after that first Vikings drive, and the defense just took a turn, like took a really strong turn to being one of the best defenses in the league, and we saw it. Julian Blackman, like, wow, like he really went in there and just blew us out of the water. He wasn't even supposed to be back the second game. He wasn't supposed to be back till October, and he came back mid-September and he really shined. He really shined. He had a great game. I truly think he's one of them that truly transformed the defense because it seemed whenever Malik Hooker was in there, the defense seemed slow and they just didn't know what they were doing. So it was like hard to like see Malik like go down, like you like him, but like the defense was slow with him in there. Like I don't think he had good communication. He didn't really seem like he always seemed out of place. He always seemed out of where he should be. Yeah. So with our fourth pick in round 4, the 22nd pick in the draft, Jacob Eason, quarterback out of Wisconsin. I'm gonna give this one a C minus. I can't really give this a high grade, I'll give it a D plus. I can't like fail him because he didn't play, but I can't give him a high grade. Like a D minus is good for him. I think, and I can't fail him, but we'll bump it up to a D because Colts have been saying some good things about him, and I trust Frank and Chris. They've been saying some good things about him, and he's learned a whole year on the bench. You can't really go wrong with that. So yeah, not much to talk about Eason because he didn't really play much, but I'm excited to see him when he does get a chance. I don't think it's gonna be next year, maybe the year after that, but I'm really excited to see what he has to offer. Now we have Denny Pinter, our 5th pick out of round 5. Pick 149, guard out of Ball State. I'm gonna give Denny Pinter C plus because really good depth player. When Ryan Kelly was out a game or two, he stepped in and he was solid. he was very solid. He was very solid. You can't complain about him. I'm happy about that pick. We needed all line depth, but now we need tackle depth. But overall, Denny Pinter, not much to talk about him either. Hasn't really played much, but I'll give him a C plus. C plus, something around there. I think is okay. In round 6, pick 193, Robert Windsor, defensive tackle out of Penn State. Again, I'm gonna give him a D minus because when he didn't seem to make a difference. If I'm gonna be honest, I think it was a Titans game he played a bit, and the second Titans outing, and he didn't. I mean, yeah, he didn't play much at all before leading up to this point that he played the second Titans game, but I don't know. He just doesn't. I don't know. One of those players that you haven't seen much, so you can't give him a true grade. Nonetheless, a good pick, good value, depth for 5th round. You're not really looking for much in the 5th. And then we got, with our next pick, this was a very underrated pick. Round 6, pick 211th pick, Isaiah Rodgers out of Massachusetts, cornerback. I'm going to give Chess Rodgers a B. No, I'm gonna give him an A because he was solely. I'm gonna give him an A, but it doesn't mean he's in the same Jonathan Taylor A category and Julian Blackman category or even Pittman. He was more drafted for special teams and cornerback depth. When he did play, he was pretty good for depth. He played pretty good in Buffalo, not terrible. He didn't play bad in Buffalo. He didn't play amazing, but I mean, he didn't play much corner. But I think what Chris Ballard had in mind when drafting him was special teams because he is fast. He is an awesome special teams returner. And I give him A because that's what he was mainly drafted for. So that's what I'm going to go with Isaiah Rodgers. Our next pick, round 6, 212th pick, back-to-back picks. Dezmon Patmon, wide receiver out of Washington State. I think I'm going to have to go with an F with Patmon because there was a time of the year when Pittman got hurt, T.Y. was hurt for one of the games. We had the injury bug at wide receiver and earlier to mid-season, and Dez never got called up. I don't know if he wasn't really living up to the 6th round expectations for depth, but he just didn't seem like the Colts were crazy on him and they thought they had better people like Michael Harris and such, but I think it's crazy because Patmon should have, but the Colts must not be thrilled with what they've seen from him so far. So, yeah. Can't really grade him, but I give him an F because he just didn't. He was drafted for depth, 6th round. You're nothing guaranteed, but an F is what he deserves, I think. F plus if he could get him, or D minus, something like that. With this pick, 3 picks in a row we had. 211, 212, and 213. Round 6, pick 213, Jordan Glasgow, linebacker out of Michigan. I'm going to give this one a C plus. I'm going to give Jordan Glasgow a C plus or B minus because he was mainly drafted. He was mainly drafted to He was mainly drafted for special teams for gunner, and he did really well for a gunner, and I think he deserves a B minus, C plus, somewhere around that range because he wasn't drafted to start at linebacker to be. I mean, yeah, depth at linebacker, but that was a great pick for special teams, and I'm gonna give him a B minus because he was drafted for, and he executed on what we drafted him for. So he deserves that. Maybe since I'm at the end of this video, I think I'm gonna give Pitt an A. I'm gonna give Pitt an A because he can't show out like every other receiver did this season, their rookie season. But especially towards the end when it really mattered in that Buffalo game, he seemed like the only receiver that was really. T.Y. was doing good too, don't get me wrong, but Pitt seemed he was really in a mode. Not mode like in the zone mode, but he was doing pretty good when in the playoff game. No, he did that with dropping the end zone, but that was on both. But we're not here to talk about that right now. But let me know what you guys think about when compare your grades to mine. Let me know your grades down below. What do you guys think about it? Appreciate you guys watching the whole vid. If you made it to the end, appreciate that. Comment down, comment below in the comments. What should we do? Jacob Eason. Comment down Jacob Eason. Or no, J Train. If you guys made it to the end, comment down below J Train. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Peace.